Good Monday morning, January the 10th. It was quite a night. Camped at Camel Lake Campground down south of Bristol, Bloodstown area, on the edge of the Apalachicola National Forest. And we are off and running. Waited a little bit. Only about 180 miles left to get home. Of course, some of this will be blacktop, so really not too much concern about the timing of it. So I wasn't in any big hurry. Got on the road about 9:45 Eastern, 8:45 Central Time. Crossing the Apalachicola River now from Bristol over towards Bloodstown. And now I'm on the westbound old, or the lower span. It was quite a night with that storm rolling through last night. It was quite a light show. Laying in my tent about 11 p.m. when that lightning was popping. It was like I was sitting inside a planetarium watching a light show with the dome of the tent. A little bit of light sprinkles still lingering, some on the back side of the front. Certainly cooler this morning than it was last night. I'm hoping to get out of this. I know there's a low chance of rain during the first part of the morning. I can see some lighter skies ahead of me. So just in a moment here, I'll get on my first dirt road for the morning, other than coming out of the campground area, which is a really hard-packed rock, well-maintained road there coming out of the National Forest. So we'll see what these other dirt roads are like heading north up to Mariana. Hopefully they've drained well enough since the heaviest rain. It was about midnight last night. That was another reason for delaying my departure just a bit. And I'll be able to follow my planned route, which again is just a reverse of what I did last Tuesday. This portion of it is still from the S.E.A.T. When I get up to Mariana, I'll branch off of that onto my own route that takes me straight west towards home in Fort Walton Beach. Get into my first real dirt roads for the day. As you can see, the sun's out a little bit. Got some splotches of blue sky up there. That's a great thing. The sprinkles stopped. Got out of that shortly north of Bloodstown. I may find, and I certainly was hoping, and may find it to be true, that we had enough rain to pack the sections of the loose dirt road down real well, but not enough rain to make it real muddy, or enough time has passed that it's dissipated some during the second half of the evening. So may actually make faster time on some of the roads that had some of the loose dirt. So that would be great. Still get to see the countryside, but not deal with as much loose sand. Bunch of cows. There's some donkeys mixed in there. back into that area that was hammered pretty hard by Hurricane Michael a few years ago. Deer. Alright, I'm on to my first of the more red clay, less of the shell rock or the white stone added roads. So this is a little bit muddier, but so far not too bad. Just don't know how snotty slick it might be. But definitely gonna take my time. One cow has an awful big field to himself. Well, I'm coming into Marianna, Florida, so I believe I have left the S.E.A.T at this point. I'm out of all that cloud cover into the sunshine, and definitely the cooler wind as well. It is breezy and it is chilly. Gonna take a break here in Marianna, refuel, maybe get something warm to drink, and then continue on. So I'm now west of Marianna, making my way north of Interstate 10, back on the same track that I rode on Tuesday. This will take me through Bonifay and then to Caryville, and then back down past below I-10, south of Devoniac Springs, past Morrison Springs before that, and then back onto Eglin Reservation. So if you live west of the S.E.A.T, anywhere along the Panhandle or South Alabama, and you're interested in these roads that I've found and ridden to get over to the S.E.A.T, certainly let me know. I'll be glad to share them with you. Not too difficult to piece together. Even though most of these dirt roads are, pretty straight, they parallel US 90 just to my south, probably run along property lines. They're not as scenic as the roads that are on the east side of Tallahassee. I guess the canopy roads with the oak trees and Spanish moss just are more prevalent as you go further east into North Florida. We get into just more pine trees over here. Lots of these one-lane bridges along the way. This one doesn't even have the boards that go for the tire lanes. Most of them at least have that. That's the most rustic of the one-lane bridges that I've been across. Back out on US 90 so I can cross over the Choctawhatchee River, working my way through Caryville and then south over Interstate 10. One of the little dirt/gravel road cut-throughs just on the northeast side of Morrison Springs, south of Ponce de Leon. This is Pusley Hill Road, a little cut through, kind of zigzags back and forth. More of a gravel road than a dirt road, so it certainly would be rideable by any bike, street or dual sport. And it comes out here on Knox Hill Road, which we've ridden on our street bikes many times. Now I'm going to go straight through here. I sure wouldn't take the street bikes through this section. I don't know, maybe not so bad. Just that one little spot where they're doing road construction. It's a little bumpier. But I've been on worse on the street bike, on the S.E.A.T. I guess slow children like to play as much as fast children do. Haha. This is Sherwood on this side, and this will come out on 331. Back onto the Air Force Base Eglin Reservation roads. Feels good to stand up. That was a fairly long section of pavement from Caryville down to Morrison Springs and then to mostly gravel roads, really hard-packed gravel roads, then over to 331, and then a little bit more pavement from 331 over to here. This road kind of borders on the south, a restricted area that you're never allowed in. On the right, an area that we often ride over here in the Choctaw North zone. It sometimes is also closed for public access. But this kind of runs parallel with Bob Sykes Road that cuts through from Definiak Springs over to Highway 285. So this road will eventually loop up to Bob Sykes, and I will have to take that for a portion of the trip back over to 285, and then I'll be able to continue straight into the more reservation property for a shortcut down past Duke Field and finally back down to Lewis Turner Boulevard, which is the highway right there going in and coming out of Fort Walton Beach from the Eglin Air Force Base side. Crossing through the Eglin Reservation between 285 and Highway 85. We'll be cutting through, we'll be crossing right under Duke Field. I'll tell you, when the tree cover on the north side diminishes and there's a field, and this has been the case ever since I started really heading west past Mariana, the wind out of the north, wow, it is stiff. 26 miles to home. Oh yeah. I expect when I come over this next little rise and these trees on my north side, on my right, are gone, and this big field called Duke Field, this wind should be pretty stiff. Push me partway across the road. Here we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Whew. Leaning into it. Alright, I'm making my exit out of the Eglin Reservation. These last few miles are blacktop pavement after the long stretch of the hard pack dirt roads. At least that's the main road that's hard pack. Coming back out here on Lewis Turner or 189. And just over 3 more miles to home. Woohoo! Ha-ha! According to my bike's odometer, I've been 1,229.3 miles. So by the time I'm home, it'll be 12:32. That's a bunch of miles on a dual sport in 6 days. Thank you, Lord. Give you all the praise and glory for safety, for getting me through a couple tough times, even despite my idiocy, and watching over me through it all. So grateful for the opportunity to make this adventure. Fort Walton Beach, city limits.